It's letter time! It's letter time! Dear Notes! What is your opinion of individuals wearing band t-shirts, for example, Dark Side of the Moon from Pink Floyd, without knowing the whole past discography or those posers? Signed, a fan. Now, actually, this isn't a letter. This was a topic that was brought up into a live stream that I was doing when I was looking at Adam Hart Mother. And the discussion there, because I love live streaming and I love the discussions that come in, but the discussion had come into a point about what do I feel about individuals that were wearing t-shirts like Dark Side of the Moon with the prism, with individuals that don't really know the band. As I was saying within the live stream, it's really a twofold factor here. Overall, it doesn't really bother me all that much. I mean, cutting to the chase, wear what you are going to wear. There's a lot of great artwork on albums. You don't have to know the music to know that, I mean, that prism is just, it's very photogenic and it's very eye-catching. And even a lot of other musical albums, like a lot of the Rush stuff, a lot of the metal stuff is very, very eye-catching. Now, what I don't like is the one extreme where you are just kind of appropriating the culture to try to fit in, or, you know, I call it almost like the Hot Topic syndrome, where you might not know all these different things, but you're wearing it to try to fit in. And this was kind of solidified a little bit with a particular video like this, where we have somebody wearing the Nirvana t-shirt. That's just ridiculous. That's a little on the extreme side. And that, I think, is a little bit on the false advertising to a certain extent, right? Now, I've been talking with a number of individuals about this, and they seem to say, yeah, it's really annoying. It's really, like, I hate it when somebody is wearing a t-shirt and they don't know the band, or they don't know the album, or they're not a proper fan of the band. And as I said, it doesn't bother me all that much, because what is a proper fan? You could be a fan of a single song, like still wear that t-shirt because you really connect with that particular song. But you're also inviting the conversation for those who really connect with the entirety of the band that represents that shirt. So, for example, if you're out and about and you're wearing a more obscure t-shirt and not knowing what is on that shirt, or you're not even obscure. If you're wearing, say, the Nirvana t-shirt and somebody comes up to you, it's like, hey, I love Nirvana. How did you like In Bloom? Or how do you like Smells Like Teen Spirit? And you can't formulate a proper sentence, there's going to be that pushback, because it's like, oh, I thought you knew that because you're wearing that t-shirt. So there's almost like that expectation to know a little bit about it. But on the other hand, what I find even more annoying are those individuals that approach the t-shirt wearing individuals and expect them to know as much as they know. So, for example, let's stick to Pink Floyd, because I'm a little bit more, let's say I've got more Pink Floyd t-shirts than I do of Nirvana t-shirts. So with a Pink Floyd individual, right, if they're wearing the Dark Side of the Moon t-shirt and you approach them expecting them to know every little last thing about animals, and they don't know, like, sheep or dogs or anything along those lines, they don't really have any right to know. Like, their experience is very different than yours, and you shouldn't be pissed off of that difference. Because, you know, talking to somebody and then getting mad at them for not knowing as much as you do, that's a dickish move, and that's being an asshole. And I find that more aggravating than wearing a t-shirt and only knowing the one property of that particular facet of the t-shirt. So it's kind of that, you know, don't be a dick, don't be an asshole, know enough about it and be passionate about what it is that's on your t-shirt to at least be able to engage in a conversation if somebody comes up to you on the side of the road. Now, don't feel like you have to oblige the conversation. If they're a dick and you just don't want to talk to them, you have all rights to leave. Like, geez, I don't have to tell you that. But you know, don't wear a t-shirt to try to fit in as well. So, I mean, think about it this way, and this was one thing that I kind of equate it to. The perfect example of this, moving away from music for a little bit, is another particular item that's become more mainstream, which is sci-fi, particularly Doctor Who. And if you're wearing a t-shirt of, like, the Doctor Who logo from either the David Tennant or the Matt Smith era of Doctor Who, and somebody comes up to you on the side of the street and is asking you, what do you think of Tom Baker? What do you think of Sylvester McCoy, right? And you've never seen anything from the 4th or 7th Doctor. You know, it's that same kind of essence. Like, half the people might know who Sylvester McCoy is. A lot of people probably haven't even seen any of his episodes, but that other person shouldn't get mad at you for wearing a David Tennant t-shirt and them getting mad at you because of all that, right? So kind of think about it that way as well. Like, just because you're wearing a Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon t-shirt doesn't mean you've heard Piper at the Gates of Dawn. So, you know, kind of get off your high horse in that sense. So I know this is a little bit of a ramble, but it does kind of solidify that whole don't try to be somebody you're not, don't be an asshole, and just let people enjoy what they enjoy, and don't put your preconceived notions of what that enjoyment is onto somebody else. So that's about it. What do you guys think? Do you hate it when you see somebody wearing a t-shirt like a Nirvana t-shirt, like a Pink Floyd t-shirt, and they don't know of those individuals? Or is it just kind of like a kind of fact of life? Let me know of your own thoughts about this by commenting down below. Because that's my own take. It doesn't bother me as much as it bothers other people, but let's not be dicks about it. And let's not be fake about it either. So that's about it. Let me know of your own thoughts by commenting down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love these little think pieces. You guys are definitely the best for tuning in and following along. And I think that's about it. All right. Well, until next time, notes out.